Today we're going to make baby's first macaroni cheese with spinach. This was a top hit with my babies and still is. It's called baby's first macaroni cheese because we're not using the traditional macaroni but vermicelli pasta, which is a lovely skinny pasta and much easier for baby to eat. For this recipe you'll need 100 grams of vermicelli pasta. For this cheese sauce you'll need 25 grams of butter, 25 grams of flour, 350 to 400 ml of full fat milk and 75 grams of grated cheese. And then finally you need 75 grams of spinach. Start off by cooking your pasta by scrunching it into a pan of boiling water. By scrunching it you save having to cut it later when serving for baby. Whilst the pasta is cooking you can start making the cheese white sauce. So you start off by melting 25 grams of butter in a pan. When the butter is melted, you can now add your 25 grams of flour. Take it off the heat, give it a good stir, mix it all in, and get this lovely doughy looking coloured mixture. Pop it back on the heat and cook the flour and butter mixture for a minute or so to cook the flour. And you'll actually begin to smell the flour cooking. Now you can start adding the milk, but just add a little at a time. Take it off the heat again, mix it in, add a little bit more milk because it's gone a little bit lumpy. Don't worry if it gets lumpy, and I know it's not looking great at the moment, but it will. Give it a good stir. I'm going to add a bit more milk. I think at this point I could probably get a whisk. It'll be easier to remove the lumps. I'm going to add a bit more milk. I'm now going to put the mixture back on the heat and give it a good stir and cook it until it thickens. And once it's thickened you can add your final lot of milk. As you can see the sauce has thickened, so we can add the final lot of milk. Give it a good stir again, mixing the milk into the sauce mixture, and keep stirring until the sauce thickens. As you can see the sauce has thickened up into a lovely creamy sauce, and we're now ready to add the cheese. For this I'm going to get my wooden spoon again, mix it all in. Actually I'm going to take it off the heat to stir in the cheese. There we go. I think we're almost ready to add the pinch of nutmeg. There we go. And there are actually some bigger lumps of cheese, so I'm going to pop it back on the heat just to melt down those lumps. There we go, they've almost gone. And now I should have a lovely, cheesy, creamy sauce. When your pasta is cooked, you can now drain it. There we go. Pop it back in the pan. We're now ready to cook the spinach. All you need to do with the spinach is to pop it in a pan like you can see here. Leave some, if you've just freshly washed it, do leave some water clinging to the leaves, or if you've bought pre-washed spinach from the supermarket, just flick a little bit of water on it because the water will create some steam for the spinach to cook in. So pop it in a pan, pop the lid on and cook it for 1 to 2 minutes or possibly 3, but just keep checking because you don't want it to burn. Check the spinach, give it a little bit of a stir to make sure it's not sticking to the bottom. It's cooking nicely. but still needs about a minute or so more. Check it again. I think it still needs a little bit more. Now, if you're finding that your spinach is sticking to the bottom of the pan, maybe just flick a little bit more water onto the spinach. This one I'm just going to leave and pop the lid back on. Right, the spinach is ready. It's cooked. It's wilted nicely, so I'm just going to pop it onto a chopping board. Sorry about the pan. And then with a sharp knife, chop it up finely. The key to serving spinach to babies and toddlers, I have found, is to cut it up very finely. Otherwise they do tend to pick it out. I don't think they like the stringy texture. Once you've chopped up your spinach, just add it to the sauce. Give it a good stir. And there you have a lovely, cheesy, creamy sauce with spinach, which is absolutely delicious. Baby will love it, and of course, it's very, very healthy. Now all there is left to do is to add the sauce to the pasta. Sorry. There we go. Give it a good mix. And there you have baby's first macaroni cheese. This is a great freezer dish, so if you're wanting to freeze little portions, perhaps if you first started weaning your baby, then ice cube trays are absolutely perfect. All you need to do is spoon little portions using a teaspoon into the cube segments. It's a bit stringy and a bit messy, but baby won't mind. So spoon it in like that. If you want a bigger size portion for baby, you can always use these pudding basins that you can get from your local supermarket. These are great for freezing. There we go. That should be enough for baby. And then when you are ready to cook it, obviously once it's defrosted, you can just sprinkle a bit of cheese on top and pop it in the oven. But for storage purposes, in the freezer, just pop some silver foil over the top and scrunch it down on the edges to make sure it's as airtight as possible. Now this one that I'm showing you, again, is a freezer dish tray that you can get from your local supermarket. This is perfect for two portions, two baby portions, or a baby portion and toddler portion. And these are great because they come with their own lids. There we go, that should certainly be enough for two little people. Just pop the lid on. Then all that is left to do is to label them. And I've actually left the labels over here. Oops. I use printer labels. These are perfect and do the job. And you must always label the contents of what you're freezing with the date. Enjoy! Oh, there we go. I think we got away with the spinach, folks. Maybe not. Is it hot? Blow. Blow. Yep. It's in. Well done, Tashi. So there we go, folks. More recipes at Mum Spaghetti, www.mumspaghetti.com. Okay, say bye-bye.